Mexico, and we have a new camera.
Brand new camera.
That has been replaced by Best Buy. They were very nice and took care of it for us pretty quickly. So hopefully this one doesn't give us any trouble with the charging port or anything like that. We are on our way to the Four Corners Monument.
Yep.
And
15 minutes away.
yes, less than an hour. And then we are going to drive by the Grand Canyon and on to San Diego, courtesy of the government, because the national parks are closed.
Yep.
So we will get to see, hopefully, the south rim of the Grand Canyon as we drive past it. And hopefully we'll be able to hop out and see it because they are, quote unquote, cordoning off the viewpoints, but that should be not too difficult to bypass.
I'm not going to listen to their little rope or whatever.
Besides, how much can they really put up in 4 hours since they have to ensure an orderly shutdown over 4 hours?
Yeah, they gave them 4 hours to secure like 1.2 million acres of national park.
Which means they're going to put ropes up around the things.
They may not even do that.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, we're going to push through to San Diego tonight and hopefully get there around dinner time. And there will be a hot meal waiting for us because Brian's grandma and aunt are awesome.
Yes, they are.
So, day earlier than expected, but honestly, in terms of really making a dent in our plans so far, this is probably the better timing that it could happen. Since we're going to be in San Diego
a week ago, it would be way shittier.
Because we would have missed Yellowstone and Badlands and all of that. So, at least we got to see all that before everything happened. So, in the meantime, we are...
New Mexico.
Yeah,
I don't
this is
think we're on the res anymore.
No, I think we were on the Navajo reservation for a little while because closest Best Buy to where we were going, we had to pick between Farmington, New Mexico and Flagstaff, Arizona, and Farmington was 68 miles and Flagstaff was like 83 or something.
Yeah.
So we picked that one instead. Seriously, the mileage out here is starting to feel like, oh, 86 miles, that's nothing.
See, I told you, your attitude towards it changes drastically.
Well, it's funny because in Rhode Island, like 30 miles circumnavigates the state.
Yeah. In Rhode Island, seriously, you're like, oh, I have to go from Newport to Providence, and you're really even driving, because it's kind of a circuitous route, but even driving, it's not more than like 20 miles. All right, but you're like, oh my God, that's so far.
It depends on where you're coming from. Right now, from Groton, if we were to drive from Hope Valley to... Well, I guess it's about 35 miles from Hope Valley to Providence.
Yeah.
It's about 35 miles.
It's like...
It's about 35 miles.
30, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because you get on at like mile marker 4 or 5.
I'm talking about like where my school was, for instance. Like my commute was about 35 miles. Because from Groton, it was about 54, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I'm adding about 25 miles, I guess. So maybe 30 miles.
Yeah, so like 30 miles, and you're like, holy shit, it's so far, but out here it's like 30 miles it's 30 miles,
There's
whatever.
dinner.
Yeah. I told you my Aunt Billy lives in Oklahoma, and they block out an entire day to go to the movies.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, we want to go see a movie? All right, it's 3 hours there, 3 hours back.
But I don't know that I would want to live in a place where you have to literally... You can't do something spontaneous like that. You literally have to go, okay, we want to go to a movie, and if you're deciding that, you have to, like, plan for it at 3 in the afternoon if you want to make a 7 o'clock movie. There have been times where we're like, we want to go to the movie. Oh, it's 6:30, we can make it.
Yeah.
Can't do that out here. Unless you live in a place like Cody where they have a movie theater, in which case you go, okay, we live, 30 minutes outside of Cody, we can do that. Which is precisely why I want to live in a place like Cody.
The terrain out here is pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, it's a lot like what we saw when we first entered Colorado with like the random spires of rock.
Yeah. As we go further west, it's going to get more so.
Yeah, more random, you mean?
Yeah, we're getting further from the Rockies through here and more into
desert.
Desert, like the Monument Valley type area and that. So